It's pretty common to start a business while keeping your day job. I mean, after all, it's a way to reduce your risk and keep a paycheck while you test if your idea is even going to make it. But then how do you know when it's time to quit your job and dedicate yourself entirely to your company? Andrew Schrage is the co-owner of MoneyCrashers.com, a personal finance website dedicated to educating its readers about better ways to save, spend, and invest their money. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me, JJ.
All right, we hear this all of the time. You know, you have your job here, you have a great idea, and because of technology, it's relatively easy to start some ideas at night and work on it on the weekends. So let's go through your checklist of what you need to have in order to quit that job and go full-time. The first thing you say is make sure you are not in debt.
Right, I think that's an important place to start. You don't want to begin your venture already behind the proverbial debt 8-ball. So you'll want to start off by clearing out all of your credit card balances. You don't want to be making unnecessary monthly interest payments. And you also want to try to reduce any outstanding loans as much as possible. And the reason here is you want to relieve yourself of much of the psychological and financial pressures that come with starting a venture and can often lead to you making bad decisions that can cripple your company's potential for success.
Interesting. That's when sort of tough reality creeps in, right? I have this great idea, but it makes sense. Okay, reduce your monthly expenses. Again, it's psychological as much as anything else, right?
Yep, this is on the same note here, and I think the trick that I recommend to people is to try to differentiate between your wants and your needs. So for example, that Starbucks coffee every morning, or the unlimited data plan on your cell phone, or premium channels on your cable bill. All of these things are wants that can be either completely or at least partially eliminated from your monthly expenses, save you hundreds of dollars per month, which you can use to not only pay off your personal expenses, but also further invest and expand your business.
It's also neat, right? It gets you sort of in this mindset of being scrappy and using this money and caring so much about growing your business. Okay, then create a goal. Do you mean a goal at which point, okay, I know when I reach it, I can go full-time?
Right, so that's a big question that people have, and I guess to start, I highly recommend, just as I did in starting at MoneyCrashers.com, to work a full-time or a part-time job while beginning your venture. And the reason here is you want to have a financial cushion, a stable income coming in every month that you can use to pay off expenses, but also further invest in your company. And then, as you mentioned, the question becomes, when can I quit that job and start working on the venture full-time? And here, the key is to hone in on your company's cash flow. And you want to reach the point where that cash flow is enough to pay off your personal living expenses and still leave you with a little wiggle room to pay off any unexpected expenses, as well as further invest in your company and make sure you're not missing out on any further expansion opportunities.
Yeah, so this is all about mitigating risk for yourself. Okay,
correct.
And then outsource essential operations. This is about time, really. Right?
Yep, and I think this is a mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make. They try to take all the responsibilities and handle it all themselves as a way to reduce expenses. And while this is a good goal, it can often stagnate your company's growth. It can minimize the chance for expansion of your company. So you need to pinpoint the areas that you can best outsource. So for example, maybe that's bringing in someone to handle customer service calls or customer service emails. In my case, we brought on a social media guru to handle our Facebook and Twitter channels. And this will free you up to focus on your strengths and also focus on the areas that will most help your business grow and expand.
And frankly, if you're holding a full-time job at the same time, you may just not have the time to do all of that at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, and then finally, I mean, this works for whether you're doing it while you have a full-time job or not. Have a working business model. Don't just jump ship for an idea. Jump ship for something that's working.
Exactly, and this is especially important if you're trying to raise outside funds. Investors are looking for profitable companies, so you need to showcase income or profit. So obviously you want to maximize your revenues, minimize your expenses, and by doing this, you can show your company's profitability, attract a wide array of investors, and give up the smallest amount of equity for those key funds you're looking to raise.
All right, well, Andrew, thank you. You did this yourself, full-time job, started a company, then jump shipped, and MoneyCrashers.com is doing well. So we appreciate your advice. Thanks.
Thanks, JJ.